darkness. The voice laughed, fractured and low. Let it watch your back. If you dare, subscribe, because once you enter this story, there's no coming back. They called it the Crimson Carnival, once the brightest attraction on the edge of town. But after the fire of 1984, its laughter died. The rides rusted in silence, the theater crumbled, and the wind carried a faint scent of smoke. Like the carnival itself, still remembered the screams. No one came here anymore. No one but him. They called him the Harlequin, though no one knew his real name. He was a street performer who once painted smiles on strangers' faces for coins. But something had changed. The smile he wore now was carved by madness, wide, still, and empty. Tonight, he returned to the ruins of the carnival, the place where he first heard the whispering applause. The moonlight pooled in puddles of oil and glass as he stepped past a fallen carousel horse, its eye socket hollow. The wind made it creak, as though it wanted to speak. He carried a cracked mask under his arm, porcelain, painted with a grin too wide to be human. He whispered to it softly, like a lover. They forgot us, but the stage never forgets. The main theater loomed ahead, its sign broken, the word laugh, barely hanging from rusted bolts. The Harlequin pushed open the door. The hinges groaned like a dying breath. Inside, the stage was buried in dust, the red curtains stiff with time. But the lights flickered on. Just for a second, one bright, trembling second, the whole theater came alive. The curtains shimmered. The chandeliers burned with pale blue light. And in the empty seats, faint silhouettes sat motionless, facing the stage. He froze. The lights went out again. Then came the sound. It started as a whisper, faint, breathing. Then a slow clap, echoing through the vast darkness. Clap, clap, clap. He turned toward the sound. The seats were empty. But in the mirror at the back of the stage, he saw them, the audience, pale and smiling, watching him with hollow eyes. The Harlequin grinned back. His reflection grinned wider. And when he lifted his mask, the reflection didn't follow. It stayed smiling, watching, breathing. The whisper came again, closer this time, inside his head. The show must go on. He dropped the mask. It shattered, but the laughter didn't stop. It spread through the walls, the seats, the air, laughter without mouths. And somewhere deep behind the curtain, something laughed back. The silence after laughter is the loudest sound in the world. For the Harlequin, it pressed against his skull like hands trying to crawl inside. He stood beneath the ruined stage lights, the broken mask at his feet. The cracked grin still gleamed faintly, reflecting a strange blue shimmer, the same color that had burned through the chandeliers moments before. The Harlequin crouched and touched the shards. Warm. From somewhere in the rafters, something whispered his old name. He hadn't heard that name in years. Not since the night of the fire. The night the audience burned while he laughed through the smoke, refusing to stop the show. He turned toward the sound. Who's there? No answer. Just the faint sound of breathing, deep, labored, inhuman. The air grew heavy, thick with a sweet rot like wilted flowers. Then came movement. The curtain trembled. The Harlequin took a step forward, and every footfall echoed twice, once in reality, once delayed, as if the floor beneath him remembered every step he'd ever taken here. He reached for the curtain rope. His hand shook, not from fear, but anticipation. The theater wanted him back. The stage remembered. He pulled the curtain. Behind it, the world had changed. The stage wasn't empty anymore. Wooden mannequins in tattered costumes stood frozen mid-performance. Their painted smiles stretched wide, their glass eyes reflecting blue light. But as the Harlequin looked closer, he saw something pulsing beneath their painted skin, like trapped breath, or something trying to move. A single spotlight blinked on from nowhere, pinning him in its pale circle. The seats ahead were full again, filled with silhouettes, rows and rows of unmoving shapes, faces blurred, eyes glowing faintly. He stepped back, but his shadow didn't move. It stood still, grinning, its mouth too large, its eyes too dark, holes leaking smoke. "You came back," it said. The voice wasn't his. It was the voice from the fire, the one that had told him to keep performing. "I never left," he whispered. The shadow smiled wider. "Then finish what you started." The mannequins began to twitch, joints cracking, their painted eyes turning toward him. The curtain behind him fluttered like it was breathing. The laughter returned, warped, reversed, echoing from every direction. He pressed his palms to his ears, but it didn't stop. The laughter was inside him now. It crawled up his throat, bursting out as a hoarse, broken cackle. The spotlight flared white. Every mannequin turned its head in perfect unison, and in the reflection of the shattered mask at his feet, something else was standing behind him, something wearing his face. The laughter wouldn't stop. It filled every corner of the ruined theater, leaking from the walls, vibrating through the floorboards, whispering through the air vents like a chorus of ghosts that refused to rest. The Harlequin stumbled across the stage, blood running down his palms from gripping the mask shards too tightly. Every shard reflected a different version of him, one smiling, one screaming, one whispering the same words. The show must go on. The chandeliers began to sway, the chains rattling like teeth. Curtains rippled in a wind that wasn't there. From above, blue dust, or maybe ash, drifted down like snow. It settled on his shoulders, his face, painting him pale as porcelain. He raised his head toward the dark ceiling and laughed, the sound sharp, cracked animal. His voice echoed back, but not as an echo. It was something else, something answering. You kept them waiting. The voice came from everywhere, from the rafters, from the floorboards, from inside his chest. I did what they wanted, he rasped. I gave them the show. No, the voice said. You gave them fire. The ground trembled. The theater groaned as if alive. Behind him, the mannequins began to move, no longer stiff, but fluid, human-like. They stepped off the stage, their joints cracking, the blue light pulsing in their glass eyes. One of them reached for him, its hand cold as ice, leaving frost on his cheek. He didn't move. He didn't flinch. He only smiled, wider than before. You came to see me, he whispered. Then watch. He walked to the center of the stage. The spotlight followed, its glow flickering between blue and white. The audience, those pale shapes in the seats, leaned forward, their heads tilting in unison. The air thickened with static, humming like an electric storm about to break. The Harlequin spread his arms wide, his shadow stretching across the walls until it filled the entire theater, its mouth enormous, its eyes burning hollow blue. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, his voice rising, welcome to the final act. The mannequins fell to their knees. The lights flared to blinding white. Then the laughter stopped. For a heartbeat, there was only silence. Then every light exploded. The glass rained down, glinting like frozen sparks. And when the darkness returned, there was no Harlequin, only his mask, resting on the floor, glowing faintly blue. From beneath it came a single breath. Then a whisper, soft, playful, endless. Encore. Outside, the carnival lights flickered to life, for the first time in 40 years. The Ferris wheel turned once, slowly, creaking against the night sky. And from the open doors of the theater came the sound of applause. Hundreds of unseen hands clapping in perfect rhythm. The show, it seemed, would never end.